is like the 2 minutes before we go live.
I'm filming right now, girl.
Okay.
So that's when Jen cusses a lot.
I'm like, be funny. Somebody do it right now. Pre-recording. No?
I wore my mom pants.
I saw that. They look very nice
Me
on
too.
you.
Thanks.
Do you guys own Spanx?
I do not.
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I heard that they're lifesavers.
I love Sarah Blakely,
Suck
though.
it and tuck
Should've
it.
worn my bike shorts.
I wish you would have wore your bike shorts.
I
Amy.
rolled up into practice one time with my bike shorts on.
And
She was
I
like-
left. It's okay, I'm not.
You're like, you're not my friend.
You cannot coach basketball
She
in
couldn't
those
even
shorts.
look at me.
Oh, God.
It's like the episode of Modern Family when Cam won't stop wearing the short shorts.
Oh, gosh. I love Modern Family
I
so
love
much.
Modern Family.
All right. Doug, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Well, I'm waiting on you.
I'm just
Right.
kidding, Doug. I like to see if I can make you a little uncomfortable every time before the show. All right, let's go ahead and start it.
Okay.
But no, I haven't seen it.
Don't bother.
Don't bother.
Okay.
I certainly won't. We're
So
at
that's just my
11:28.
advice. Let me turn Kelly
38, 58, 55. Got it.
up. All right. Can I just get a quick level from you, Michael?
Testing.
Oh, Michael,
From you?
sound like you want it.
Hello.
Mom jeans.
Jennifer?
I love Doug.
Okay, so that's good right there. All right, you
This
ladies
microphone
ready?
is messing with me today.
We're ready.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes. Here we go.
No
Oh,
nerves.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to start that up, and then I'll count you girls down in 3, 2, ladies down. I don't know why I said girl.
Asshole.
3, I am 2, 1.
Welcome to 614Fempreneur, Columbus's #1 female entrepreneur show.
Ow!
I am Michal Cheney, and I am here with JKW.
Hey, Michael. How's
Hey.
it going?
Good. How are you
Jennifer
doing?
Kessel-White here, your favorite Columbus real estate agent, real estate investor, and total female entrepreneur advocate.
And before I forget, today's show is brought to you by No Drip Painting and the LKW Home Team for all of your real estate needs.
Oh my God, they're such nice people.
Aren't they?
Yes.
Amazing.
Okay, so I want to introduce our guest today before we just talk about ourselves all the time. It's Leanna Rocheleau with Barks and Rec Doggy Daycare. Leanna, hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
Barks
yes.
and Rec, I love that name.
I love that name.
That's awesome.
I am a fan of a good pun.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. So let's start with the name. How'd you come up with it?
Well, first of all, I'm a big fan of the show Parks and Rec.
Okay.
My dog's name is Burt Macklin, and it actually took me months to come up with the name. I had some pretty terrible names in the beginning.
I think
Can
coming
I
up
hear
with
like a terrible one?
let's hear it.
I mean, I can't even think of them. They were so terrible. One of them was Fetching Abilities,
Oh, yeah.
but
Mhm.
they were
Yeah.
bad.
It's like with the painting business, drips a lot is not a good name.
Yeah.
No, that is a bad name.
It is. You know what? I do feel like coming up with a name is like one of the challenging things.
One
In
of
the
the
beginning.
hardest in
Don't
the
you think?
beginning. Yeah. Because of course you think like you're like, that's a great idea. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't. It was tragic.
And then you
Yeah.
kind of have to think about it, how it's going to look as a website,
Mm-hmm.
URL, all that good stuff.
Or also how it's going to abbreviate.
Yes.
Because then it spells out something really not cool.
Exactly.
.com.
Right.
You know? So.
Okay, got it. So your name is awesome.
Thank you.
And so tell us, what is the business all about?
So it's a doggy daycare. We also do boarding, and we have self-serve dog wash stations. And then we promote the hiring of individuals with developmental disabilities and moms.
That's awesome.
I love that. So tell us how you came up with the idea to have a combination of a doggy daycare and helping individuals with disabilities. Where did that come from?
Well, it came from my background, really. I started out in veterinary medicine, and I went on to manage veterinary offices, and then I switched careers, and I was an associate site director for a rehabilitation and employment program for adults with disabilities. And while doing that, all I ever heard from them is, when asking them, what would be your dream job? What would you love to do? It was, I want to work with animals. And then in pursuing my dream of owning my own business, that was something that was extremely important to me to add, was to incorporate employment opportunities for the DD community.
What made you want to start your own business? Where did that idea come from?
Honestly, I just had a series of bad bosses,
Oh yeah, been there.
and it was it had a lot to do with becoming a mom and trying to create that work-life balance, and it killed my spirit when I had to go back to work and wasn't allowed the opportunity to modify my schedule or anything like that. So it was, that really lit the fire underneath me in order to pursue owning my own business, was not being able to be home with my daughter, but also I thoroughly enjoy working, and I know what it's like to have good bosses. I've had good bosses, but I also know what it's like to have terrible bosses.
Right.
Yeah, I think before I had my own business, I think I was fortunate because I didn't actually have any bad bosses, so to speak. But what I did have was I had some people in leadership roles that really sparked an interest in leadership for me.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of had the opposite experience, but what I will say is when I was working for these other companies, and it wasn't anything painting related.
Right.
But I always hated the fact that I was, a hard worker. I was doing everything I needed to do, and I was still making somebody else a lot more money than what I was making. So kind of in line with, you kind of had one experience that kind of catapulted you into wanting to be a business owner. So I think that's pretty cool. And I think it's pretty amazing how you kind of merged two worlds together. You took your experience being a vet tech and your other experience working with, folks that have disabilities, and you merged that together. I think that's pretty awesome.
Leanna, aren't you planning on doing something for moms as well that have younger children?
Yeah, so part of the business model is to allow moms who are hired on, if they're a nursing mom, we're going to have an on-site nanny, so during their working shift they won't have to pay for daycare. So they can bring them in and nurse on their breaks and be able to see their kid.
I love it.
You don't hear that every day.
Nope. And so you basically just set up this plan really to cater to all of your dreams, passions, and your personal life, right?
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
How long have you been open for?
We opened yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? I love that. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Total congratulations. And you've already got customers.
We do. We were fortunate enough to get a great space in Grandview, which helped aid in the marketing, because the area of Grandview, as I'm sure you guys know, is just extremely pet friendly.
Right.
So it sort of marketed itself, and people were very excited to find out that another pet business was going to go into that building.
It's pet friendly, but also there's a lot of apartments and communities that don't have a lot of yard space, so it's probably like a perfect fit.
It really is. There's a huge apartment complex right across the street, and we've already had several clients come in from there saying, "Oh, yay! Something else is going to be here." Yeah.
Tell us about the course you have for the dogs there.
So we have an agility course.
It's awesome.
Oh my gosh! And
Have you done it, Jen?
Actually, kind of, because when we went for Leanna's daughter's party, her birthday party there, and I kind of ran around it.
So it's not just for dogs.
No, it's for Jen.
Would it help me with my fitness goals?
Oh, #fitness goals. How's that going, Michael? Sorry.
It's good. It's great.
All right,
I'll
back
let you
to
know
agility
after I
course.
visit the agility course.
Okay. I'm going to go with you.
So yeah, tell us about this agility course, because not all doggy daycares have this component.
Correct. So the way we have the daycare set up is that it's a structured day. So by creating a structured day, it not only helps, I work better with routine, but in creating a structured day, then the animal is anticipating what's going to happen next, and in return then can relax and be able to have fun. So part of the structured day is adding in different activities like the agility course. We also provide snacks during the day, like frozen vegetables or frozen apples.
Oh, I love that.
See, it fits right with my fitness plan.
There you go. I'm going to drop you off there.
So the agility course is just one component of doing that, and then also we're doing some light training with your dog. So
Very cool.
So if you go there, I think that I heard that you get a report card. Actually, I saw the report card yesterday.
You do.
And it was pretty awesome. Go ahead and tell everybody what they get with their report card.
So you get to, with the report card, you get to know what activities your dog participated in that day, who they made friends with. We have the option to upload photos.
Yep.
So it's a really cool software that we got connected with.
I love it.
That's
It's
cool.
so awesome.
So it's like an electronic report card.
Mhm.
That's really cool.
Does it get emailed or text?
It can be either.
Nice. I
Yeah,
love
so
that.
the customer checks the preference on whether it's email or text.
That's super cool. So one thing I always like to ask business owners who have like a facility, a store, like what goes into that? Because, when I started my business, it was me and a paintbrush. There's not much cost that goes into that. I mean, you got to have a good paintbrush, right? But there's not a lot of upfront costs that you need. And then, of course, over time, you get equipment. I have an office and stuff now. But like, how does someone just get a facility? Like, what goes into that?
It was really hard, especially in the pet industry, because you have to have specific zoning requirements. So it was extremely difficult, and not having enough upfront cost in order to purchase a building, we had to lease, and that came with its own other set of issues, trying to find a rental space where an owner didn't automatically think of destruction when saying that we were going to put a pet business in there.
Right.
Leanna and I saw a few properties together.
Really?
We did.
Took her out to a couple places that were interesting.
Yes.
How big of a space is it?
The space that I have now is almost 8,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's an enormous space, and almost 6,000 of that square feet is in the back for the daycare and boarding area.
Okay, cool. So what kind of lease did you have to sign? Was it like a 12-month lease? How does that work?
Yeah, so I ended up signing, it was a 3-year lease with a 3-year option.
Okay.
And hopefully, I can be there for a long time.
Yeah.
Totally. So what does like an option mean? So you're there for 3 years.
You have the option for another 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same rate that you're already.
No, negotiations will have to
They
start again.
give you
It's just
preference over someone else.
Yes, absolutely. They can't just say like you're out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So Leanna, tell us your hardships, if you will. So someone's thinking about starting a business and they're super excited and they're like, yes, I have this great idea like you have. What next? Like, what did you go through?
Yeah, I had no idea where to even start.
Before we started, you were just like, it is hard. And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. So
It is extremely hard. Every challenge that I had to overcome came with like 4 side challenges.
it's a platter of challenges.
Oh my, yes. So, the first place that I started out, I'm going to call it the Women's Business Center, but I think it's actually called something else. And I just,
WBC or yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I met with a gentleman there who sort of pushed me in the direction of where, and he gave me advice on business plans and sort of a template on everything.
That's a great place, by the way.
It was super helpful.
It's so helpful. Mm-hmm.
It was super helpful. So I started there. And then as far as my provider's license, DODD, the Department of Developmental Disabilities, they have a website for people who want to provide services or job development and job training to individuals with disabilities. So for agency providers, you can just go on this website and then it sort of just walks you through how to do it.
So you had to like establish kind of the typical business things, if you will, but then you kind of have this whole other side piece that you have to understand because you're dealing with a government agency, right?
Correct. Yeah, so it was essentially like I was putting 2 whole businesses together.
Really.
Lots of late nights, I'm assuming.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it was so hard.
Paperwork, I bet.
It was. And there, there's flaws in the system too. When it comes to being a provider of individuals with developmental disabilities, because there were certain aspects that I didn't understand that I needed to, first get my workers' compensation certificate and pay for all of that, but then wait 3 to 6 months in order to be approved. So it's a lot of upfront cost and not
no promises.
Right.
Before you can start making money or even try to make money, really.
Right, and then it came with its own more challenges because workers' comp is like, well, how many employees do you have?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't even have a building.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Workers' comp is actually a tough thing to navigate. I deal with that too. Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So what are things that have come up that you didn't even think about in terms of when you own your own business, you are thinking about, okay, I have this idea. I need to get items. I need to buy stuff. I need to get a computer. Like, it's crazy. All of a sudden, you're just like, oh, toilet paper. I need toilet paper for my guests.
Yeah.
A lot of toilet paper.
Right?
And
Yeah.
probably special software that's, caters towards your type of business.
Right. So I was used to, software working in the medical side of everything. So I was able to navigate all of that. But then it was really just talking to other local business owners and doing some site visits. And there's another doggy daycare that Stephanie Sanzo owns, Pathways to Independence. She has a very similar business model, and she was so gracious in sort of helping me. We sort of helped each other. I helped her with a little bit of the paperwork side, and she helped me teach me some of the things that she had learned along the way.
That's great. So it's another business owner in the same field helping another business owner.
And we
That's
talk
what it's
about this type of networking a lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what's interesting is I think that people have this misconception that you don't necessarily want to partner with someone in your same business because you often look at them as a competitor. When really, I think if we keep those walls up, that keeps us from learning.
Absolutely.
Right? Share the information.
Yeah,
I
there's
feel
enough
it's
to
the
go
best
around for
approach.
everyone.
Right. And I think that, well, specifically doggy daycare and that sort of thing, owners go closest to their home or closest to their work. So as long as we're not directly in that same radius,
Right.
I feel as though we should be able to share information. We should be able to empower other people and say, hey, I've figured out this, obstacle, and I wanted to share that information with you.
Totally. So do you have a business plan?
I do.
How many pages is it?
Oh my gosh. I don't even, literally my sister helped me type it in my garage.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a typewriter?
No.
I mean, you're in the garage.
I don't know. Oh, that does make sense, kind of.
Yeah.
Here's Mom's old typewriter. Let's do this.
Well, I have a 2-year-old now, but back then she was a little younger, and it was really hard to use anything around her, especially
Sure.
computers, because she just wants to play with them. So we literally had to go to my garage,
Yeah.
and she helped me.
See, these are the stories I love, right? You wrote your
absolutely.
business plan in the garage on a typewriter. I love it.
I like that you just played the telephone game with that,
Yeah.
and kind of took it around. But that's okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
So did you have to get any special financing to launch this?
So I looked into different ways, and I was actually all the way into searching for a property and banking on doing a small business loan. And when my dad stepped in and actually offered to front the money for me.
Nice.
Oh, that's amazing. Thanks, Dad.
Right?
Because the financial piece is often very scary. You have no idea how to navigate it. And I think that can be what keeps people from starting a business.
Absolutely.
I think people always, at first glance, think the financial piece is the biggest hurdle. When I think once you actually get up and running, you see that that's actually not the biggest hurdle. You've got all these other things.
Right.
Oh, so many more.
So how do you guys think someone gets over the initial worry that I can't start my business because I don't have any money?
You have to believe in yourself, and you have to have the passion and the fire. That's not going to be a worry if you just know it in your heart that that's the right thing to do. So you're just I just have to tell someone my story, and then they're going to help me, or they're going to direct me.
I think that's true. Because what I find is when you are super passionate about what you're doing, and you know it, right, you have to have some background information. You can't just be out there not knowing anything. But when your passion comes through with a little bit of knowledge, don't you think that's when other people are willing to take the chance and believe in you?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's kind of how you got funded for your flip, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had to go ask a lot of people who told me no to my face very impolitely that they were not going to give me a loan because I never flipped a property before. And finally, I talked to enough people, networked with enough people, and got introduced to a company that believed in the project.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's what
awesome.
it was all about.
So let's talk about networking for a minute, because I think that's a huge piece. What I have noticed is over the last couple years when I have put time into networking, that's when my business has started to take off.
Absolutely.
So I know you're just getting started in business, but have you thought about, what kind of networking you can do? Jen knows a ton of people. Maybe you can help on the networking front, but is that something you've kind of thought about?
Only in theory. And excuse me. So there's certain events and things like that happen on the DODD side. as far as like provider fairs and transitional fairs at high schools. But as far as the dog daycare and things like that, I've thought about cross-marketing with local businesses, you know.
The Grandview Hop, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Would be
even
great.
some of those apartment complexes.
Oh, yeah.
I
Or,
actually,
like leasing office events.
yeah, I just finished a promotional flyer and sent it off to the printing place. By the way, my printing place is literally the only thing that has gone smoothly this entire time.
Wow.
Really?
Shout out their name real quick.
Yes
then.
Press in Westerville.
Yes, Press.
Yes, they've been phenomenal.
Great.
Quick to respond, giving proofs, picture proofs, and getting it handled. So literally that's the only thing this entire process that has gone smoothly.
That's awesome.
Do you have any social media plans for what you're going to do with Barks and Rec in terms of, you know, Instagram, Facebook, and networking through that? I think will be the easiest way. As you being a full-time business owner and mom, you might not have time to go to all these events. Obviously, you're going to have trusted employees that are really going to help you do that. But, you know, just kind of through social.
Yeah. So I have one full-time employee and 2 part-time employees. And one of the girls, Josie, she actually took it upon herself and made an Instagram account for us.
I love it.
Yeah,
Nice.
mostly because I didn't know how.
Hey, I'm in the same boat with you.
I was like, I can't do it. I
But
give
remember who we're in the company of.
Uh-oh, get out of here.
JKW, the guru.
up. Yeah, well, I
The
gotta hand it to
guru.
you. I mean, the confidence you exude in some of your posts is admirable.
It's true.
So
I don't know.
You're killing
I don't
it.
know what to do.
I've tried a couple of times,
yeah.
and I'm like, I look
It's
ridiculous.
harder
Is that you
than
have
you
to
think. It
just
is
get
harder than you
over
think.
like the hump. I was challenged to do videos for 14 days in a row, and I was like, that sounds horrible, miserable. I've never done one, and then I did it, and from there, it was just like, all right, you know, after you do something for 2 weeks, you're like, I got
It's like
this.
once you
Now don't
got
care.
over that, you were good to go.
Yeah, I mean, like I shoot a video, and I'm like, there's something on my face, and is it makeup? Is it dirt? I don't know, but I'm posting
And now
it.
you just leave it.
And I'm like, yeah, you get, and I'm pointing at it. You know, I'm
So-
like, what's going on here?
What would your suggestion be for someone like Barks and Rec? What do you envision with social media?
I envision them, as long as every time somebody signs up, you just have an approval that says that we may take shots of your pup for social media,
Okay.
and that's a quick like checkbox on when they register online or in person. And then after that, I'd see tons of cute puppy pictures of them making friends, and then people are going to share that to their Instagram, because what's happening is if you tag one of the owners of the dogs and say like, oh, Marcia, look, you know, Ben is playing today and doing this and that, and next thing you know, they're sharing that to their
Yeah,
stories.
Because you know, dog owners love pictures of their
They
dogs.
just love
and
pictures.
they think their dog is the cutest.
Always.
I'm guilty of it.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they're just going to share all of your posts. So
That
you
is-
just have to get approval and then go from there.
I actually have it on my application. I just
Yeah.
forgot I had it on my application until you just said something.
Yes, sir.
Here we
There
go.
I love it. I love it.
So let me ask you another question. What do you see in terms of you being such a very, very busy mom and business owner with so many things on your plate and or platter?
Yeah.
How do you take care of yourself? Like your health and wellness, you know, like what
That-
do you do for yourself?
Well, I am diligent with going to doctor's appointments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
actually
great.
am. Just check-ins, mostly because if I don't have a doctor's appointment, it doesn't give me an excuse to leave and check on myself.
Yes.
Especially these last few months, I've been slacking in that department.
Yeah, I know. That's why I
it's
asked,
hard.
because so many people don't at all take care of themselves like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you either like lose weight, gain weight, don't sleep, eat poorly, like all of these things start to happen, and next thing you know, it's 6 months later, and you're like, I have a successful business, and my body is deteriorating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if
You
you,
know?
eat too many pizzas,
I
guilty.
love
I
pizza's
had
my
4-day-old
favorite.
pizza this
Chicken
morning.
wings.
Did you have 4-day-old pizza?
Oh my God.
You know, 5's the cutoff for me, so I think that's fair.
But I'll tell you what, it is hard, and that's kind of actually what I'm dealing with right now. Is that, you know, I've been so busy over the last couple years. You know, I love what I do. It's, you know, the closest thing to my heart besides family, of course, and friends.
Thank you.
But like I I want to get myself in a better place right now physically, because I really feel like even though my business is doing great, that it's limiting me in some capacity. And it is really hard to balance all of it.
If you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to be good for other people.
You won't.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you know everything, you know what you know, you're confident in that, but if you don't feel good, then it does limit you big time, I think, when you're your own business owner.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, even just distraction from when you are at home, from not, fully paying attention to, your family, and
Yeah.
I can see that has happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to have the energy by the time you get home
So
too.
it is, but it's a process, and I think sometimes you work the process well, and then sometimes you don't.
As long as you check in with yourself and just be like, am I hitting this? Like, what am I doing for
you
myself?
just get right back up and keep going.
Leanna, what's your why?
My why?
What is your why for your passion, for your career?
I want to be able to. It's mission, help as many people as I can. Moms who are in my situation that want to work but also want to be with their family, and then it's also for my family, and I hope my family knows that I built an entire business so I could spend time with them.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Hey, who's your favorite rapper?
Uh-oh. Did she warn you about this question?
She
No.
did.
Don't say Snoop Dogg.
No,
Yeah,
I've
don't
actually
say Snoop Dogg.
been a huge fan of Lil Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Long hair don't care.
Right.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Good. I always like to know. I judge you by your favorite rapper.
Who's your favorite?
Oh my gosh, there's so many that I can't even, like, first of all, I have them in categories, but if you want to go, like, all time, I would say Biggie, but
Okay.
then,
Oh,
like,
I
there's
could
so
get
many
down with
other, like, East Coast, but, I don't know, we'll have to talk about this over a drink sometime. There's a lot. Hey, Michael,
Yes.
do you have anything going on in, No Drip Paint World?
I do. This is still our peak season, and we're rocking and rolling. We do interior, exterior painting for residential and commercial spaces, and it's amazing. I love it. I've got great painters with me.
You do have great painters. They did a knockout job on my house.
And we all really just love what we do, as cliche as that sounds.
Did you charge me full price? Did I get a friend discount?
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to talk about it.
We'll talk about that off air.
Okay. Well, I do want to invite everybody to a home buyer seminar that we have coming up for the LKW Home Team.
Yes.
It's September 21st from 10 to 12. We are going to have an amazing time. We're going to do brunch. We're going to have Bloody Marys,
Ooh.
mimosas. We're going to have lenders there to pre-approve you for a mortgage on the spot if you'd like. We're going to have a home inspector there to let you know about the process of the home inspection and what's important and what's not. And we're going to have some other surprises. I'm not even going to tell you. We're going to have a special guest.
I will say your events are fun.
I throw a party like
You
no
really
other.
do.
I do. I don't know. It's just I like
So
it.
it's for first-time home buyers, and why?
I know it could be for. It doesn't have to be a first-time
Okay.
home buyer, but the reason they would come there is just to get knowledge on the real estate process, because I can give them a packet that looks like Leanna's business plan, and they're going to get scared.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to, because it's super easy. And by the way, I take care of all the stressful stuff. You just got to fill out some paperwork and go look at pretty houses with me.
And drink Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
I love
Yes. So September 21st, it's going to be at 1510 West Lane Avenue. And you can go to my Instagram at welcomehome614 and click on the link in the bio to get your free tickets.
Sweet. I love it. Can friends come?
Oh my gosh, how many Bloody Marys are you going to drink? Because
Leanne, how does someone get in contact with you?
We have a website, barksandrecohio.com, and from there you can access the customer portal from our website, and you can sign up and make reservations. You can upload vaccine records. You can also upload cute pictures of your dogs, which we thoroughly enjoy.
yes.
I love it.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at 614Fempreneur, FEMPRENEUR.
Yes, and if you're interested in being on the show, send us a message on Facebook. We'd love to chat with you.
Goes down in the DM.
That's right. Anything
Thank you,
else,
Leanna.
JKW?
Thank you
We
guys
love
for
you.
having me.
All right. Thanks for joining us today.